Hi, this is Michael Osterlink, and I'm speaking with Julie Borowski. She is a policy analyst with FreedomWorks. How you doing, Julie?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Certainly, it's good to see you. Now, we've been working together on a working group of conservative and libertarian groups in creating a top priority list for a new Congress and a new administration, talking about 2013, of transparency and accountability measures. Two of the issues which came to light and is of interest and importance on our list, one is audit of the Federal Reserve, and the other is audit of the Department of Defense. Let's talk historically first. Let's go back and talk about the audit of the Fed, which is something you've been working on for quite a few years. Tell us about your interest.
Well, I think it's really just a common sense issue. We have the Federal Reserve, the central bank of the United States, and they have the ability to print as much money as they want out of thin air, which dramatically affects every single American. And it's really scary to think that the central bank has never been fully audited in its entire history. That's something the American people deserve to know what they're really doing behind closed doors. As far as the Department of Defense, it's also a common sense issue. The United States spends more money than any other military in the entire world. They spend about half of all military spending on Earth. The American people deserve to know what's going on there too.
Two common sense transparency measures. Now, when it comes to audit the Fed, we did have a modified audit, modified from Congressman Paul's original version, which came out with the GAO report almost two years ago or so, 2.5 years ago, which showed that the Federal Reserve loaned out during the crisis, as far as we know, because it was a managed audit, about $14 trillion. That seems like an incredible amount of money for the Federal Reserve to loan out. What do you expect to find if we had a full and complete audit? Something similar?
Yes, we did have a very limited, watered-down audit. It was actually in the Dodd-Frank bill, which was a terrible bill altogether. They tried to put a little something in there to make the libertarian or conservative people happy. And actually, I believe it was $16 trillion, even more, that they found the Fed was loaning out to foreign banks and corporations all around the world. But there was stuff that was off limits, such as how the Fed sets interest rates, which is really important. And I know Rand Paul's bill in the Senate would be actually a full audit, so we find out what exactly is going on behind closed doors, not just some things.
Now, in terms of the DoD audit, I'm reminded of a speech that then Secretary of Defense Rumsfeld gave. Interestingly enough, it was September 10th, 2001, in which he talked about the need to go to do a war on the Pentagon budget. I think he mentioned that there's around $2.3 trillion unaccountable in the Pentagon that he just couldn't find. And then, of course, 9/11 happened the next day, and the military spending increased dramatically. What do you expect to find if we actually did a full and complete audit of the Pentagon?
There's a lot of spending in the Pentagon that's unaccountable. There's actually a 1990 law requiring all federal departments to be audited. Every department is audited annually except for the Pentagon. The reason behind that is they spend money so quick they can't even keep track of it, which is just ridiculous. If the Pentagon was actually audited, I think we would actually realize just how many pet projects there are. I know Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan, they say, well, we can't cut Pentagon spending, but why not? This was a budget passed by Congress. Of course, it's going to have all kinds of unnecessary spending and pet projects in there.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.